So, I mean, this is like, I guess, present now for BrewedAt. Like, what is now next? I mean, teased something before, but like, what's going on with BrewedAt?
Oh man, like a lot. And it's been awesome because we're really just like working together with people that want to do some, I guess, I don't think it's crazy shit, but like it's kind of crazy shit like in the industry. It feels that way sometimes because people are so accustomed to the same. So one of our next event, and we can talk about like times because this is coming out pretty soon.
All right. Welcome back to the BrewedAt podcast. I'm your host, Richie Tevlin, joined by Evan Blum
on the other side
and Cole Decker on the other side of the table today. So we just wanted to do a little catch-up episode today. We had someone pop a tire on the way here, unfortunately, but we will get them on. So I guess you guys don't need an introduction, but you guys just want to fill us in what's been happening with BrewedAt in the last couple of months.
Yeah, it's been busy, although you might not know that from just like our social media output at this point.
Yeah.
But things have been really busy and all in exciting ways. Things are changing a little bit from our side and looking forward to like some of the things that are coming up. So we have a handful of events that we're working on and excited to like really be able to integrate the different social media strategies that we have into those events and just make everything more fun in that standpoint from that.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think we realized over the summer, and I guess even a few months, like in the spring, is we don't want to limit ourselves to just, I guess, connecting craft beer to a younger demographic through social media. It's not the be-all, end-all. Experiences are also amazing in these events, and like finding these other super cool ways of bringing the craft beer and like getting people in the door other than just through social media.
So let's take a look. I mean, it's been probably 6 months, 8 months since like we touched about what you guys were doing. So in the last little bit, I mean, the big things are the passport and the scavenger hunt.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit? I mean, those are both like whole unique things that I've seen and kind of in the industry. Can we just talk about them and then like from those, then we'll like, because I feel like what you're doing now is exactly what you're saying. It's like has built off what you guys did in the last couple of months.
Yeah, it absolutely has. Like the passport and the scavenger hunt have kind of like just opened eyes and shaped kind of where we're seeing things that work really well on bridging gaps. But yeah, the passport wrapped in, I believe, June.
Yeah.
We had a ton of interaction. I think we sold about like 170 tickets for our first event, which was like super exciting.
Yeah, just to jump in there, sorry, just you never know. Like when we started the like crafting in Philly, like I was just so pessimistic. I'm like, I don't know. Like I feel like we're gonna look like at the ticket store, it's gonna be like 5 over the entire event. It's all gonna be our family members. Like you just never know. But there was definitely a hunger for something like this. Where people do have like a passport, they can go to all the different breweries in Philly, find their own different routes. And again, it's a different way than like a classic beer fest,
like a non-traditional beer fest.
Yeah, exactly. Getting people in the door, I think was like our main
key
goal there.
From that, I think total we got 598 scans. So that's a cool number just to see 598 people we know we pushed into different doors. And I think my favorite statistics from this...
But you had sold 170 tickets and 598. So that means on average, like everyone went to like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, my favorite thing from this is just like, this is through the partnership with Let's Rally. Like they have data down to like a T in what you can like see and track from gender, age, where, location... And that seeing some of these stats was awesome. So we had about 50% of millennial drinkers who were ticket purchasers, and 30% of Gen Z was the other part of ticket purchasers.
Wow.
So that was like really eye-opening, I guess, because 30% is a large number than our second highest number. So it's super cool to see that.
I mean, those numbers are much higher than what probably the industry has seen as far as their customer base.
Yep.
I would imagine that. And it was... like super cool and like reassuring to see that. and then even seeing the different beer styles because we had a track on that.
Yeah.
And this is something I love. Sours were the second highest beer purchase, or not purchased, but used for crafted in Philly behind IPAs. And I don't have the lines of this, but if I'm a betting man, Gen Z being the second highest group and sours being the second highest beer, I feel like there might be some correlation.
I mean, 100%. I mean, you see like what their drinking habits are. These iced teas, the seltzers, these artificially flavored fruit juices that are alcoholic. It's just like, I mean, that's basically a sour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was cool. Like seeing like on Reddit on like r/Philadelphia, someone was like, "Does anybody know anything about this crafted in Philly thing?" And it was really cool seeing the comments and kind of having that like outside in look into like what people are saying about the event. And one guy had this whole thing like mapped out. He had like
literally
the like optimal routes to go, like the distance, the public transportation to get to these specific places. And we're like, if we want to do that work for us, like go for it. I mean, it was super helpful to like, you know, for that person, I'm sure. So
it's cool, you know, like it's beyond just likes, but you know, like craft beer is all about, for me, is all about like being a part of culture.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like when you see people doing this like on their own accord, then like you're actually making it like
yes, exactly.
You're affecting something. You're not just like putting this out and people are liking it. You're like people are building upon it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's probably something we want to do again in the future.
I mean, first time, that's incredible. It's like, you know, the first time is always the slowest. Like whoever's doing a beer festival, whoever's doing anything, it's like it's always you have to show people what it is before then they buy it the second time. A lot of people like there's a lot of people that follow the crowd, and there's, you know, like you can show people that like, look, this was literally the first time you had this much turnout. Like think about what the next time is going to be like.
That is so true. Yeah, because we're just like kind of slowly starting to build that trend, and there was definitely a lot of people I think that maybe purchased their tickets like midway through the last month, and now they're aware of what's going on. They can inform their friends as well. And, you know, we learned so much from the brewers, from the people that were doing the event, and like ways to just improve it for next time. So it's really exciting. I mean, just having done it when it just felt like it was impossible, it was like an impossible mountain to climb, and now establishing it a bit and now doing it again, making it better.
I think it's just so cool, like a different angle on a, you know, beer festival, something that like most people like can't, you know, they're like, how should we do this beer fest differently? Like, let's make it more of a concert.
Yeah.
Is that really that much different?
Yep.
You know, like this is that truly something different than just a normal beer fest.
Yeah, we're hoping so for sure. Yeah. So that was fun.
So you had that, and then you had the scavenger hunt, right? Yeah. I mean that, and the Eric the Puzzler thing was also very cool. I mean, the turnout of that was like great, and like, you know, like, I mean, he's so cool that like so many people jumped on that like immediately.
Yep.
It was so fast, dude.
Yeah,
like within how long was it?
Oh my god, I don't even know. Like 15 minutes. People that follow Eric the Puzzler are like legit solvers of puzzles.
I mean, it's those crazy people that go on like Google Maps and just like, where are you?
The
like geolocators.
Yeah. Yes, I guess for some context, Eric the Puzzler is a guy that he'll just kind of have a cryptic message right on Instagram, and he'll say there's a key, and he'll just have some goodies in there as well.
Yeah, he'll give a prize to the key, and he'll just like show some coordinates, and there'll be something missing, and you have to go out into the world in Philly and find it. So like all his keys are never last more than like an hour or something like that.
Like a
it's crazy
whole world escape room or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because I remember we did geocaching once. Remember, like, I thought it was like so cool when I was like in high school, and I was like, guys, we're all gonna get together, we're all gonna go geocaching.
It was a great idea,
and we were just
no, I don't know. Do you know what geocaching is?
Yeah, I've done it a couple of times.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, we sucked.
Well, I don't know if it's we sucked or there just wasn't anything actually there. We might have also sucked, but
it was like a sign. What was like a sign outside of a development like near us.
Yeah.
And so in our neighborhood, so we were just looking around the sign. Like it was like 5 of us, like just walking around the sign.
This is like 9 p.m. at night, like really dark. Yeah. And like it's in Bucks County. Like there's nothing going on in Bucks County. You know, if a cop drove by, he'd be like, what's going on here?
Yeah, these kids are smoking weed behind them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're on something. They keep looking at this. They kept looking underneath this sign for something. They're like, what are you trying to find? So
yeah, the Eric the Puzzler thing was awesome. And then we did our first like social media scavenger hunt concept, which was super different, I guess. Like, I don't know how to even explain how it came to be, but it was just, I think I was looking for something from like in April, like, oh, what would an Easter egg hunt look like on social media? And it kind of just built from there. I'm like, we don't have enough time to do it there, but in the summer, I don't know, what if we do some sort of treasure hunt?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I mean, the collaborative posts, when did Instagram start doing that? Like last year or the year before?
Yeah.
And like now it's become almost standard. Like when brands or people interact with each other, everything is, you don't tag them. You do a shared post so that you share each other's followers. And this was an interactive version of that.
Yeah.
And you got like so much interaction. I mean, you say you don't want to go into the numbers, but the numbers are so impressive that it's like, you know, I understand why you want to gatekeep them, but it's very cool. I mean, you had so many people reach out to you day one, and like, again, these were not your friends and family. There was not people that you knew. These were like, you know, crowds and crowds of people that were just like intrigued by what this was.
Yeah, we could talk about the amount of people that solved it. Like, in the span of 2 days, we got 270 DMs, and it was just like kind of mind blowing because.
And all of these people had to visit every single page.
Yeah.
So it was like, what, 30 pages or something like that?
30 pages.
So you took everybody in craft beer that was like kind of like looking at craft beer in the Philadelphia market, and you're like, you have to look at all 30 of these social media pages in order to get this.
Yeah, like to figure out the message or like the phrase we had.
Yeah. It's just awesome exposure for everybody involved. It's fun. It's interactive. It's different. And I don't know. There's just, it's a fun way to get new eyes on brands. And it was all for like a fun prize. It was tickets to a beer fest and merch from these breweries involved. So
and I think you have not mentioned the video that we also made to hype it up.
I did not mention the video.
So we had this idea where we wanted to have like some sort of like hype video teaser to kind of like roll it out, and I guess we just kind of started. It was like, oh, I'm just gonna find this bottle on the beach. We're gonna open it, unravel it. It's gonna say like, you need to solve this phrase to like win a prize or win the treasure. And we just like started getting like making it like, I guess, stupider and stupider as like humor wise, like SpongeBob humor.
Yeah, it's like number one, any reel like on media, like what's gonna catch somebody.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? So we have
Cole acting like an idiot.
So, yeah, I guess that's what worked.
Yeah, so it was me eating shit. That's how we decided it was gonna work. Because like,
worked.
So we were just recording it at the beach, and there was a couple just like sitting on these rocks, like taking in the sunset, and I'm just like throwing myself into the sand over and over again. And was like, it's not good enough, dude. You gotta be better than that. I'm like, oh my god.
Wild.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that is when Cole is laying on the ground because we want a wave to hit him to wake him up. So we needed like the perfect wave to get him. We were sitting there for like 20 minutes waiting for a good wave to just like crash on him.
And like picking everything up, moving it closer to the waves, waiting for it to come, and then it didn't come, moving it closer and closer and closer. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like, we were super excited to release that, and we definitely want to do it in the future as well. Mm-hmm. So there's, I guess, some rumors going around about something happening during the Halloween season, but
yeah, some mischief going on. So it's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I mean, all these things are things that you can repeat, and like, you know, even if you have to like, I mean, I feel like you could do the same thing next year, or you could put like a spin on it, and like, you know, I think this was like, literally, like I said, like the first time you're doing it, it's going to get more and more traction. Yeah,
and it was just like just a win-win. I feel like for both the breweries and the people doing the scavenger hunt. I feel like it really it felt like everybody was kind of connected in this like brewery universe.
What are you trying to do as a
area.
business? Like, it's not just like get attention. You're building value. So like, you're building value for the customers. Like, they're winning something. They're excited about it, and also the breweries are like getting a lot more value out of what you guys did than the effort that they had to put in.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Everybody won from it.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. I was very happy with the amount that people were willing to like give us merchandise and stuff to get like a lot of hype around it. Like, I felt like really good about every part of it.
Oh, it was awesome. And I love how just collaborative like the breweries have been in the situation to like put their spin on things, and that's probably my favorite thing. We're giving like these like loose terms of ideas, like with some set of structure, and then each individual place will take that and like spin it to their like niche.
I mean, I think a lot of these, they're creative people, but like a lot of people are just like stuck in the rut, like doing the same thing as everybody else is doing. So if you give them like, if you just start something for somebody, they don't have to create a new concept or idea, but they can just create off of the idea that you're creating, and that's a lot easier to do. So you kind of give them a stepping stone, and then they take and run with it.
Yeah, that is super, super true. Yeah, it's like once you have the confines of this like theme,
and people kind of get like intimidated. Also, it's like coming up with a new idea. Like, is this stupid? Like, no, it's not. Like, everyone's doing this, so it's like it kind of like takes a little bit of pressure off them. They're not feeling like people are judging them because they're doing something weird. It's like they can kind of be themselves and like do something fun with it.
Yeah, we know like behind the scenes, like a lot of the breweries like, they'll email each other and be like, "Are you doing this thing? Did you get an email about this?" And like, "Yeah, I'm doing it." So then it's kind of becomes, well, I guess I'll do it too then.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is definitely like a rolling thing. Like, get one person on, and maybe they said no, but now their buddy's doing it, so they'll do it now. But I think now that we've done it once, it's definitely opening more doors. Same thing with Crafted in Philly.
I mean,
same exact thing.
Yeah, and people see it and they're like, "Oh, wait, I'm gonna do that next time" or something like that. You know, it's like it's not just like they want to do it again, but like they're already thinking about like, "Oh, we should have done it this way," and so next time you do it, they can roll it out.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, this is like, I guess, present now for BrewedAt. Like, what is now next? I mean, you teased something before, but like, what's going on with BrewedAt?
Oh man, like a lot. And it's been awesome because we're really just like working together with people that want to do some, I guess, I don't think it's crazy shit, but like it's kind of crazy shit like in the industry. It feels that way sometimes because people are so accustomed to the same. So one of our next event, and we can talk about like times because this is coming out pretty soon. It's going to be on October 4th. We're doing a event with the Boozy Mutt and Nutmeg and Oak, who is a experiential marketing company out of Connecticut, but from Philly, and it's moving back to Philly. So she's going to Vanessa is going to be putting on some really cool things. And we're doing one of her single sips dating series. So we're entering the dating verse, I guess.
Yeah.
Sex sells.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously Tinder and Hinge is like really hard for a lot of people, and like just trying to get through to somebody through messaging is like impossible. I feel so. Vanessa had this great idea. I mean, she's dealt with like insane.
I mean, you've seen going off this. Pitch a Friend right now is the hottest thing in Philly. It's going around every single bar goes to. It's like the coolest thing ever, and I think people they're
expanded too.
They're tired, like. Yeah. Tinder and Bumble and all that stuff was like very cool when it happened. Yep. Like this was a cool way to do it. But I think a lot of people are like, they're tired of having the same 8 conversations with like 35 different people, dating 35 people different ones. People want like an organic way to meet somebody.
Definitely.
And it's like, same thing we were talking about before, like Gen Z wants experiential stuff.
Yep.
This is a very Gen Z thing to kind of get into.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, like just to kind of go into your point about Hinge, like Vanessa was showing us like some of the messages that she would get, and it was just like the most like outlandish shit ever. So she was like, "Fuck this, I'm done." So I think it was a little born out of just exhaustion from that, but basically it's just gonna be kind of like you sign out a form with like your interests, right, and it's gonna just like scientifically match you with the correct person. It's also going to be beer tasting, so that's where BrewedAt comes in. Wine, liquor.
Yeah, so it's really cool, and we can talk about some of the brands that we're going to have part of it. So it is 4 different alcohol brands. We have 2 Robbers who's going to be there, Vault's going to be there, and 4 Humors will also be a part of it, and we are also working with a winery to get involved too. But people, part of the event, will have a few, like 25 minutes per station, and they'll have a time to interact with the different brands that are there, and really just kind of explore the different people. We are making a BrewedAt bingo card, which is going to be fun, and it actually works out really fun in the way, if you're filling this out, you get extra tickets to win ultimately like a bigger prize of all the participating brands there. So it like kind of us in a way. It's fun. It makes that like interactive piece of it. But the event's going to be just like really cool and unique. It's extremely different. It's a little bit like nicer dating too, like in the sense of you are getting bites from the Boozy Mud as well. It is like really meant to meet your match potentially. So it's cool. It's a cool, fun way to do it. And Vanessa does things like really clean and professional. So
yeah,
cool to see that too.
Yeah, I mean, it's all going to be local like alcohol brands too. So if you like alcohol and want to potentially meet somebody, like definitely.
We talked with Jack at Dr.Brewlittle's. Like they adopt dogs out there. If you adopt a dog from that brewery, you're always going to go back. If you meet your significant other at a BrewedAt event, I think you're going to be a fan of BrewedAt for the rest of your life.
No, definitely. Oh yeah, we forgot to mention. Yeah, it's dog friendly as well. It's at the Boozy Mutt. So your
what
dog
could be more? Alcohol, beer, dogs, love.
Yeah, exactly. And your dog can kind of be your wingman. So if you're like, the conversations get a little awkward and be like, oh, what's up, bud? And then you jump back in. There's going to be a lot of awkward conversations, I'm sure. I can't wait. But
can't wait.
But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're excited. A little bit different. Just trying to get craft beer and like local.
Yeah, that's like cool because I don't know what are different ways to input like beer into unique ways. So.
Yeah, I mean, we had talked about this before. It's like you can't just have social media. Like BrewedAt started as like what is Gen Z, and it was social media, but the root of it was like Gen Z is not connecting with beer.
Yep.
Or beer's not connecting with Gen Z is what I should say. So like, part of it is like a lot of it was they just weren't speaking the same language, social media, but then also it was like this experiential factor that like you guys have found a way to like not just have social media be the forefront of it, but social media is a tool that you guys are using to then create these situations.
Yeah, exactly.
Or experiences, I should say.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know, it's just so much fun too. Like,
I mean, it's fun, it's fresh, it's new. It's like, you know, so what's his name? So Peter Thiel just went on Joe Rogan. I listened to it. The guy, I think he's very interesting. He's like kind of a robot, but I listened to like some other podcasts he did and like some stuff he was talking about his book, like 0 to 1, like, you know, the brands or the companies that are the most successful, you know, Facebook, you know, what he was part of PayPal, SpaceX, like all these companies. He's like, if you're starting a company, you can't try. I mean, it wasn't great for me. He's like, don't start a restaurant in Philadelphia. But it's like
they said that specifically.
Yeah, because Philadelphia has a lot of restaurants and it's like small business. But his point was like, don't create a business that already exists. Like, create a business that doesn't have competition. So like, you need to create something that's new and unique. So like, you know, copying what other people are doing doesn't make sense. So like, these are different concepts that you're doing. They might not be the traditional, like, oh, if you want to be a cool brewery, or if you want to be a cool brewery news outlet, or whatever you would categorize BrewedAt as, like, you need to do these things and be good at these things. But, like, you guys are not paying attention to that. It's like you guys are creating your own thing. And that's, like, kind of like his whole argument. It's like, if you want to be successful, like, you have to do your own thing.
Yeah, for sure. And not to say that I feel like a lot of the people that we work with inspire us a lot. Because Let's Rally, if we meet with like their team and Robbie, like we wouldn't have really been able to put on
100%
Crafted in Philly and get it to the extent that it was at. Like that was such an integral portion of that event. And then I would also say Eric the Puzzler. Yeah. Like just his idea of like in the physical world, really like uncovering where this key is. I feel like definitely started to spark our brain a little bit. It's like, is there any way maybe we'll make this work digitally? So
I mean, I think there's the world right now. Like, I'm sorry, I'm like thinking super like spaced out. Like, you know, AI is that point where like it's kind of like blurred the line between like digital 100%. Life and like actual life. And like you guys are kind of like combining this like social media, digital life with like this real world thing. So, you know, like social media is that point where like I don't know how it can like get better beyond like literally Meta or something like that. But like you guys are like kind of combining the two worlds of like, you know, now it's like a seamless transition from like the real world into social media. Yeah.
And that kind of brings us into our metaverse sponsorship.
Opening up a meta brewery.
No, but yeah, absolutely right. Though.
You made a lot of good points there, Cole, too, because like I feel like everybody that we meet and talk with, that itself then sparks whatever those creative ideas are. There's no like, I don't know, it's not just us in any of these scenarios.
Yeah.
It's whoever we're like working with or feeding ideas from that brings in these new ideas. Then we're like, oh, that's sick. Let's run with this. And it's all like super inputted from all of these places.
Yeah, I feel like people are like, I'm just going to grind in a vacuum and like, you know, I'm just going to make a successful business right now and like do it on my own. And it's like, the more conversation that you're having with people, the smarter you're going to get and the more ideas are going to spark. Like you might have your $1 million idea talking to some guy you think is completely irrelevant to your brand or your company. And, you know, you guys are just having a conversation and you get to a certain path and like, wait a second.
And if you've got the blinders on, you're never going to have that opportunity to even talk to that person.
Exactly.
Yep. No, well said.
So you have this event. Anything else going on? I mean, we talk to Rhythm?
Yeah. So we are doing, this is exciting, our first ever beer collab with
Very cool.
Rhythm Brewing out of Connecticut. It is from Lady Lager, Alyssa, who is one of like the first black woman brewers in the Northeast. And
She's also a very cool story. We're talking about doing something different. Like she is, I don't see her on traditional like beer stuff.
No.
But she's in LinkedIn. She's in Forbes. She's in like all these traditional news outlets that aren't normal like craft beer outlets. And she's doing great, but she's like not taking the same approach that everyone else is doing.
100%.
Cool person.
Yeah, she's just a really cool and fun person. And she has 2 beers right now, Rhythm Blue and Rhythm Red, and they're just like really good lagers. We met her at Log Jammin' actually, and we just kind of were talking because she wants to try to make her beer a little bit more approachable to Gen Z, and that's where we kind of began talking on what a cool event in Philly would look like, how we would show the beer in a different way, and really just get some excitement there in a different sense, and just yet again putting beer in a cool scenario. So we're having a sick band called Eaglin, who's also really good friends of ours, that are going to be performing, and it's just we're going to try to pair them with the beer and make something really fun out of it. So this event's going to be taking place at Stone's Beverage as well.
Very cool.
So,
shout out Nick.
Yeah, shout out to Nick.
Hey,
Nick's awesome.
There we go. Yeah.
So it's going to be even like that's even cooler. Like it's going to be taking place at a beer distributor.
Yeah, super cool.
Like underground type feel. Like
I mean, when Nick came on, like we talked to him, it was like his brand feels almost like a brewery, not like a beer distributor. It's a very cool beer distributor brand that he's creating. It's like, and you know, like doing some stuff like this because he's done other stuff like this where it's like he's also like what you guys do, not thinking traditionally, like stepping out and doing these like cool, unique ideas. Like you don't know how this is going to turn out, but you know you have to kind of take these risks.
Yeah, I was like, I think having a concert at like beer distributor is just pretty cool. Like I don't know.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, if you've done like So Far Sounds, like it's an app where you have to kind of apply to go to a concert, and they tell you like 24 hours before like where it's going to be, and usually it's at a brewery or something, or just like in a garden, or I don't know, but I mean, it is like it's super cool to have it in a beer distributor. You're gonna have all of the all those colorful cans,
all the different cans.
Yeah, it's a super cool environment, and especially the new Stones location.
And yeah,
I mean, it's beautiful.
Dope. Yeah, like he went off on that. So it's super exciting, and Nick is definitely the best.
Yep, and the cool thing for this is it's gonna be a free concert too. So people are just welcome to pop in. We'll be like selling merch from different places, and you'll find our collab beer there. So
your collab, I mean, they have lots of. I think since they've come on, they've brought on Widowmaker, which is like a hype brewery, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, they're doing great Stone. So like, I think it'll be very cool to kind of see like as much as he came on the podcast, it's like it's another step of like doing an event there. Also, I think it's very cool to kind of pair your brands together with Rhythm.
100%. Yeah. It's just a lot of people that are super like open to like crazy. Yet again, I don't think they're super crazy, but traditionally it's a different type of approach to things, and it's just
they're not crazy, but it's like I think it's the right approach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I just love the name of the brewery too, Rhythm. It just has such
with the music too.
So many opportunities to like partner with different musicians. I think is a ton of opportunity there for sure. So I'm very excited. Love music, love beer. It's going to be a very fun event. So
yeah, that's all I got on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think all this stuff we were talking about, like, you know, where this, you know, the kind of the direction of BrewedAt and all this other stuff. So like we've mentioned it a couple of times, but like the Gen Z. I mean, that is what BrewedAt is. It's like Gen Z. It's the new age of craft beer. So not even Gen Z specifically, but like these people that are getting into craft beer now, like how do we get them into it? And, you know, what you guys are doing, like you've seamlessly kind of transitioned between like social media and experiences, almost these like real life escape rooms. And it's like, I don't know, not free experience. The Rhythm beer release is like a free to attend thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like these cool experiential social media things. I think is interesting. It's a different angle on not just craft beer, but I feel like, you know, just
in general,
just bar life, social life in general right now is kind of all kind of moving in that direction.
Yeah, I think so. I always think to like myself, like, it wouldn't necessarily need to be craft beer that we're in doing these things, but it's just, I mean, craft beer is so creative, and that's what kind of sparks all these ideas. But like, this is just a directionally what a Gen Z world will look like. Yeah. So it's,
I mean, things of what it does look like, but I think craft beer is not
part of
doing this
feeling
a lot.
That yet.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy because, like, you know, craft beer is the creative, like the cutting edge. Like, it's supposed to be on top of everything. It's supposed to be small business, very, you know, like, you know, agile, like being able to like fit in with what's happening. And like the fact that it's not touching on these things is like kind of crazy. I think it's not looking at the future enough.
Yeah, the alcohol industry is just so fast moving. It's crazy, for sure. Like you need, I think, eyes on your brand pretty often just to keep updating and seeing where the trends are going. And I mean, obviously staying true to your brand, but figuring out ways to kind of align where the trends are going with your brand. You know, hopefully we can make it easier for people as well. Sick of your POS system being a POS? POS Specialists, powered by Heartland, have been the experts in cutting-edge POS technology for over 20 years. But they're not scriptwriters, so they let AI write their script. Thirsty for a delicious deal? Feast your eyes on our tastefully crafted point-of-sale system. From order up to cash out, this POS is the coriander spice your brewery needs. It'll have you saying, Brost. Yikes. See? That's why they have a 24/7 live phone support, not chatbots. Their experienced project managers will program your POS, train your staff, so you can just focus on the beer and not worry about the AI. Ask about their free processing options, handhelds, and online ordering. Email kevin@posspecialists.com. Mention BrewedAt and get $500 off your install. Email kevin@posspecialists.com. As I'm sitting on the beach and I'm drinking Cape May Brewing and I'm looking at the can and they have, I think it's like the flavor profiles. They have like what food pairs best with and like vibe, like best to drink on the beach, best to drink after like mowing your lawn. I think that was like literally one of their recommendations. And then I look at other beer cans and it'll just say like Cascade hops and certain kind of barley. And I feel like it's only serving to like the 1% of beer drinkers, where like that information just is not super valuable to people that aren't super locked into the industry. So what are your thoughts?
I whatever you're describing, I hate it. It's like if you look at the human robot. So human robot, does it say like anything about any of that? And then this is Forceman. Like these are like hype. I say hype. Like I feel like hype has a bad connotation. But these are like very cool brands. So like doesn't say anything about that. Like yes, I'm starting a brand right now. It's like the can art is very minimalistic. It just says like what the beer is with the hops that are in it. It has nothing saying anything about like drink this while you're mowing the lawn, drink this while you're taking a shower. To me, it's like the larger the brand gets, it's like it almost feels like a lot of these things come on the can. And maybe because they're larger regional breweries, they're like looking to get that person that's like a fringe craft. I don't want to say fringe craft beer drinker, but like someone that doesn't drink craft beer all the time still get. But I mean, it is interesting to hear your perspective because it's like from my perspective, I don't like that because I think that it looks bad.
That's fair.
In my perspective, it's like you're looking at the can like it's a bottle of medicine or like a piece of food where like you need to like read the instructions on it.
Yeah.
The way that I look at cans is I look at it like can art, where it's like this is not a billboard. This is literally, it's a painting. It's a piece of art. So it's just like the beer is a piece of art within this thing that is like a painting or something else on top of it. It's like something kind of unique, but I think it's part of the experience, like not having that on there. I think having that on there takes it from like a Michelin starred restaurant where you're just like, taste this, I don't know, piece of meat that looks like a rock to like, you go to TGI Fridays and it's just like lists like the nutritional value on it. It's like, I think that it's just kind of different types of beer, I guess, that you're going for.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, like I like the beers that are just like, and I'm saying this as like someone who's been brewing for 10 years and went to brewing school. Like I know what these hops taste like. I can see your perspective where you're like, who the fuck knows what Kush hop or HBC 586 just got named to Crush, I think.
Yeah.
It's my HBC 586 is my favorite hop in the whole world. And the fact that it just went from like the hop breeding company to actual name, I think is a big deal. The price will come down. It's a delicious hop. But nobody knows what HBC 586 tastes like. I know what it tastes like, but I understand what you're saying. But to me, from my perspective, I like it when it just has the hop name on it.
So I have a counter. So I feel like I totally understand what you're saying when it comes to just kind of leaving the can as a canvas for the artwork and not busying it up and making it look kind of like cheesy or like corny by adding all these like extra details that kind of take away from the art. Like I feel this way definitely about can art. Also like album covers. Like I love when it's just like a picture or a painting and it's not like the band and the name of the like album on it. It just busies up the album art so much.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're gonna, I definitely agree with you. Like if you're gonna keep it simple, keep it simple. But a lot of the breweries do still put a lot of details on the side of it. So I feel like if you're gonna make it busy, and you're gonna add like a picture of a hop and a picture of the wheat or the barley on the side of the can with the name of it, at least make it something that's more useful to the consumer, and with informing their decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in there too because like. If a younger drinker goes into any beer store and they see the amount of cans that are just on the shelves, it's intimidating. Like it is intimidating to like I just want to know what's going to taste like what. And then you have a lot of hops or you have to actually read through the labels and like dig deep into craft beer. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. But it almost feels like it's an isolating thing in certain scenarios. I think
craft beer is like 20 years behind wine. So you wouldn't go look at a wine bottle and say like Chardonnay tastes like this, but like it's just all white with like the name of it and be like, why doesn't it say pair with oysters and drink while you're pre-gaming before you go play cricket or something? It's like I think. We're maybe in this transition phase. I think probably beer in the past, maybe like 10, 15 years ago, you had to do that. But I think hopefully, I don't know. It's also like kind of the size of the brewery. Like the brewers that are hyper local are going after that, 5% of the industry. Yeah. But maybe the people that are CapeMaine is an enormous brewery.
You got to walk into like a beer shop and you're gonna be like, I'm looking for this kind of beer. And it's like, well, like we have this great selection, like kind of like fine wine.
Yeah.
I mean, you really could.
Yeah,
but
shops are like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Some of them.
No. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, we could like ask the guy. It's like, well, I'm kind of like feeling this kind of beer.
I understand where you're coming from. I think that there's like different lanes. I think that like CapeMaine is not going after the very specific type of drinkers that a lot of like Human Robot and Force of Maine are going after.
That's super true.
I think that they both put CapeMaine and Force of Maine and Human Robot all put great thought into what they were doing, and they did it in a very specific manner. I think that they thought about the other side too, and like, no, we want to do the specific way.
Yeah, for sure. And even if you list just like it's a stout and it says like coffee plus like toffee or something like or like a chocolate, you know, just like in like small like clean font, you know, so it's not super busy, but you're like informing the drinker of like what they're gonna like crack into. Maybe
I mean, my favorite beer labels are Maine beer, and that is literally all white. It doesn't even have a picture on it. It just says like in like Times New Roman or something, like the name of the beer with like a little like squiggly line or something underneath.
Really? See, that's clean though. That has like an exclusiveness to it, where it feels like cool that you're drinking it. So it definitely goes both ways for sure.
It does. It definitely does. I just for me, like with 10,000 breweries in the U.S., there's gonna be. I feel like a lot of them are trying to do one classic, yet again, like this is what a brewery looks like can label. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I don't see meshing well with Gen Z. I could be completely wrong.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe that's why sours like might sell well.
I mean, because
they'll say like citrusy blueberry sour.
Yeah,
you know
I think
like,
5 years ago, if you had a label that looked like this, you would just automatically sell no matter how the beer tastes. But now,
that's true.
I mean, with AI now, you can just say, make me a cool beer label, and it'll give you a cool looking beer label, but it's going to look like everything else. I think Gen Z specifically, because they're coming up in this age where you have all this access, it doesn't matter if it looks, you know, technically worse. I think they want something different. And I think that like they're smart enough to realize, you know, what's something that's just like generic, even though it's nice, and what's something. I think that they're almost willing to do something that's like it might be worse, but it feels more authentic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, without a doubt, it's authenticity for sure. I think that's huge.
Yeah, it's gonna be really big. You know, probably like you said, like the can art industry for sure. Because I feel like AI is definitely gonna step in there, and you're gonna be like, I'm so sick of all these AI can art. Like, it's gonna be so.
I'm really sick of
I don't want to think about looking at the all the.
You were so right. I'm sick of AI photos.
Beer
on
like
Instagram. Every time I look at them.
Yeah.
Like, instantly.
I have some AI photos on my Instagram, but there's you know, my illustrator. We'll get into like my stuff eventually, but my illustrator, like obviously he's very against AI. Like he's a professional illustrator. He's amazing, but like I don't want to use. I feel like I'm stuck. Like I want to use AI because I think that if I don't use it, then I'm just gonna get left in the dust. Mm-hmm. But I understand like how, as someone that I want to create beer, I think that I have like an art. How can I look at him and be like, you know,
totally.
And like, I mean, what he's making is better than anything that AI can make.
Mm-hmm.
But I think sticking with him is like, I think will add more value to me in the long run.
100%.
Because people are able to realize that this is not some AI image. This is like real art. It's real talent. That's like
100%. I mean, coming up in the age of Gen Z where they will be ingrained with AI. They are going to know, without a doubt, if something is AI or not. And the people that are not using AI, it's my opinion, but the people that are not using AI, they're going to have such a more authentic message.
There's brands that are coming out now. I saw some article. I don't even know what this company does. It's called Procreate.
Yeah.
What is Procreate?
It's familiar.
I think it's just like a higher quality like art, like AI art.
So
software.
So the CEO just came out with some like big press release that he's not gonna ever use generative AI. So they can use AI, but it's gonna be like using your own work. So Monica uses AI when she works sometimes. It's using her own things to like touch up little bits and pieces of what she's working on.
We all use it. Like,
but it's but using just generative AI to just create some random image is a lot different than like you using it as a tool to like enhance what you're doing.
Yeah,
because that's your own work that you're doing.
For sure, it's interesting seeing that wave across the industry too. Obviously, I have a lot of friends that are into photography and video, and like even people I know that shoot film. They're like, yeah, well, you know, I had to like use that as like delete this guy out of a photo or like just like adjust this background. So I think it is just gonna like integrate itself.
It's
with
very
artists.
weird. Nobody is like we're not on this craft beer podcast. We're not going to solve the issue of AI. But
wait, we're not.
Yeah.
Shit.
I feel like the meme right now of like 3 12-year-olds like sitting around like talking about.
It's so true. Yeah. My step cousin is actually the president of OpenAI, which is like insane. So just to put it in perspective for people, they're like, "Wow, this guy must be smart." No, I remember I was talking to, I'm talking about myself. My step cousin definitely super intelligent, clearly. Yeah. But I remember one day we were all getting dinner, like all of our families, and he's like, "Yeah, I just like won the geography bee, and like I met the target dog." And I just like cruised right past this spelling bee. Or the geography bee. I was like, "The target dog, that's so cool!" Like, I'm amazed by this target dog, and this dude's building like robots in his basement. So yeah, that just to show you the intelligence difference between us, even at that point.
Yeah, it's changed the world. I mean, the first time I used ChatGPT, I was sitting in the office at Victory. I was just like, someone sent me a link to ChatGPT, so like I got on it and I was just like, write me an SOP for cleaning a tank, and it wrote an SOP that was like 95% of the way there of like what I should do, and I was just like, I turned around like everyone was like, look at this is literally gonna change the world. I remember that whole 5-minute experience of me doing it. I'm like, I've never seen anything like, it wasn't anything crazy, but I remember like, this is gonna change the world.
Yeah, I think we all had that moment for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we just went on like a complete tangent, but yeah. So BrewedAt is turning into an AI open source company.
Yeah, we are open source.
We are robots.
Straight from Cole's cousin.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, but I mean, I think BrewedAt. I mean, I think 2 months from now that we're gonna have a whole new set of things that we can talk about with BrewedAt. But
100%.
It's nice to kind of catch up and like do a reset of the podcast, kind of see where we're at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm liking the side of the table. This is our first time sitting on the side of the table. So.
Just got the nice camera.
Yeah, very true. What up, nice camera?
No, super cool. And all the interviews so far have been just like really awesome. This podcast has been a blast so far.
I think, we're getting a ton of great feedback.
Yep.
Not just from like the numbers, but like just people, the industry in general, like, recognizing what we're doing. And I think that like we've been out for 8 months. We've been talking to like a lot of people about like the numbers we've been hitting at 8 months, and it's like well beyond. I think it's less than what we thought, but it is way beyond like anything. Like when I tell people, they're like, "Wait, what?" Like I didn't expect that. Like I think that sometimes I think that like I'm gonna conquer the world.
Same.
But I think in the next couple months, like we have a lot of very good guests that are coming on, and there's a lot of upside.
Yeah, for sure. It's exciting. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Follow BrewedAt and the BrewedAt podcast on all social media, and subscribe on YouTube, please.
YouTube doesn't get enough love.
Yeah.